President Jimmy Carter's funeral. He lived to be 100 years old. He was our 39th president. And a lot of people liked the Jimmy Carter, and I liked the Jimmy Carter too. Um, he only served one term as president, but he did a lot of good. And I'm sorry, yeah. He did a lot of good for our. Uh, I think he did probably a lot more after he left office for us than when he was in office. But I, 100 years old. I believe he was the only president that lived that long so far. Hey, Pastor, was you saying something? Okay. So, what do you think about President Jimmy Carter,
I
Pastor?
think. Oh.
Oh no, go ahead, Wes.
Well, from what I don't know too much about him because I mean he was president before I was even around. You know, like
Yeah.
I wasn't even in the womb. Like I wasn't even a thought. Like they wasn't even thinking about me when Jimmy. Yo, but I do know that he did a lot for like civil rights. You know, making sure that like our people was getting less. There was a lot of discrimination back then. You know, so like he definitely was doing his part in trying to like end that. Um, for a lot of people like in America, always trying to make sure that like we was getting what we needed. I heard that he also appointed the first U.S. ambassador, the first African American U.S. ambassador, Andrew Young. So I mean, you know, he cared about our people. He was out there like doing things for like anybody. He wasn't just like doing things for white people or doing things for like Catholics or something like that. He really cared about what it seemed like just the people, you know. So like I appreciate presidents who actually like do things like that.
Right, right. He went to work for Habitat for Humanity, and he helped build a lot of homes. And he was a Sunday school teacher, and he was a man of faith. He really was. And so I know he will be missed by his family, but I just wanted to send my condolences out to the Carter family. He was. I
Yeah.
wish he had been. He could have had a second term, but it wasn't meant to be. But he did a whole lot because he was the president from 1976 to 1980. So he did a lot of work.
Yeah.
Our country is better for him. And now we have 2025,
Now we're
and we
back
have
with
a. What you say, Wes?
we're back with Trump.
I know. God help us, Lord.
I heard he's trying to change
Pastor.
the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Well, he wants Canada to join America. I
Yeah, he
mean,
wants it to
really?
be the 51 state. Like, what's
Are
going
you
on?
serious?
Uh,
I don't know.
Canada's too big to be one state. Like Canada would have to be broken up into maybe eight or 10 states, something like that.
Yeah,
Something
but
like Canada's too big to be one state.
no, but the man, the guy already said it's not a snowball. That's not gonna happen. He
It's not. No,
just just
I
like
don't think the president of Canada is gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna sign everything over to you.
I don't know. I don't know. He
Oh
looks
man.
different. I don't know if they've made him look more presidential, but I don't know. I can't believe we're going into a second term with this man. You know, and we've been paying for his Secret Service forever. When he was president, after he's president, now he's president again.
Mm-hmm.
So he's had protection. He'll have protection for the rest of his life.
Yeah. And he'd be making a lot of like some of the things he says is just so out of pocket, and like he knows that. Like I feel like he's a smart dude, and he knows he's saying crazy stuff on TV to get our attention, to get those views running up, to get people talking about him. Because ain't no way you saying things like this and you president, then you gotta have something up here. There gotta be something up here, bro. Like you president, like you can't be telling me you gonna just take over Canada, man. Like that doesn't make no sense to me. Or like you say like explicit things about like certain racial groups and like you have no feeling about it. Like I just can't believe that. Like like I know he educated. I just don't know why he makes some of his decisions like that. Like there's so many other ways to like grab the attention of the people. As we was just saying about Carter earlier, like Carter wasn't moving like that. JFK wasn't doing that. Like why he out here trying to get our attention like that? Like there's so many other ways to like do it, and he's doing it through like negativity and like drama and like he's still on TV, like he's still an actor or something. Like he ain't no actor no more. Like bro, you president, you a politician. You don't gotta be moving like this.
Yeah. Well, you actually, if you tell, let let me tell you, he was never an actor. He just had a radio. I mean, he just had a TV show, which
Mm.
I liked The Apprentice. I liked it. I used to watch it, but we are not. I think he just likes saying you're fired. I think he just likes that word. You're fired. You're fired. But anyway, yeah. So um there's just so many things that's going on in the world today, in the community, in our communities. I know everybody that owns a home, I know they upset because their taxes went up. Our taxes went up. Pastor, did your taxes go up on your property tax?
Property tax.
Like when you own a home, you have to pay property tax. And it's based on how much the house is worth and all this other good stuff. But
So you never
um
really owned a home. You still got to pay for it even after you like really buy it. Like there's still like you still
well
got to be
you
paying taxes on it.
yeah, property taxes, yeah.
Uh-uh. So the
And
bills never stop.
they never stop. Once you born, that's it. You actually you're born into debt, believe it or not.
Yo, stop.
Yep. So no, for real,
For real, the bills never stop.
never stop. But our mayor is due to have her baby on January 15th, which is next Wednesday. And that acts is also Martin Luther King's birthday.
Ooh.
Um, I don't know. So we'll see. A lot of people are saying she's not gonna run. She's gonna go enjoy having her daughter. Some people say she's still gonna run, and so it's very interesting because there's some things going on, and
Yeah, a
some
lot would
people I
change if she
think are,
didn't run.
huh?
A lot would change if she didn't run. Like a lot. Like
Well, 50 people will probably jump in the race if she didn't run. Okay,
yeah,
you know,
a whole lot of people gonna jump in that race. And then it's
yeah.
like she got like a whole she got like a whole team of like town ambassadors all around the town. The Roxbury, the Mattapan, this, that, and the third. Like, what would happen to them if she didn't like run? Like, would they all be fired? Like, would
Well, if
everybody under her would they just be fired? Like, if she didn't run, like, would they have to reapply for the job under the new mayor? Like, it's
oh
just
no,
there's a lot of questions I would have because it's just like she did have a lot
well
of things set up.
with new administration,
Mm-hmm.
they bring in their own people. They bring in their
Oh,
own
so they can't
cabinet.
they say, yo,
They bring
get out my seat.
yeah they
Wow.
That's what happens with new administrations. They pick and choose who they want,
Mm.
and so that's going to be interesting.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
about to
know.
get it's about to get juicy. Oh man.
So, Pastor, are you back? Are you there? Because I wanted to know what you thought about Jimmy Carter. He might.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You
I know.
know, it's definitely scary during the election times. Um, at least for me, there were some people on both sides that were really hostile about this, who they was voting for. For instance, like there was some people you tell them you're voting for Trump, and then they're gonna block you on Instagram. They're gonna block you on Facebook. They say, I don't want to talk to you no more. I don't want to talk to you voting for Trump. And there were some people who were like, you're voting for Kamala. I can't talk to you no more. Things that and the third. But to answer your original question of why people really vote for Trump, I feel like some people just wasn't ready to see like a female president. One, two, people think that they're gonna have money because they had money before when Trump was in office, and that's just not how like money works. It's not how like the stock market works.
And
Like
there's not even that much money that they
we
got.
didn't have that much like word. It was just like what, like an extra 1,000 or something like that. Like yeah, y'all really tweak it over like an extra comma. Like it wasn't a lot of money, man. It wasn't like the market was good for different reasons, like every what 6 to 8 years the market crashes. That has nothing to do with the president. It's just like that's gonna go up and down regardless. So it's just like our money fluctuates. So some people think that, oh, it's that's what's the Trump's gonna be able to fix that or fix the gas prices, this, that, and the third. And it's just like a lot of these things are like out of the president's control. Like the people really thinking that he's gonna be able to do like magical things for them that he's just realistically isn't gonna be doing. You know, like he has his whole new agenda that he's been telling people that he's gonna do. He put it on some website, said these are the things I'm gonna do when I become president. But it seems like none of us is really listening to that list. I mean, a couple young people did read it, and some of them would really be trying to tell me and some other people like, yo, like you gotta read what Trump say he about to do when he comes into office. This man about to do some real crazy stuff. But I feel like a lot of young people did not read that because like some of us ain't reading. They just see what we're seeing online. We see what we see on TikTok. We see what we see on the news. We see what we see on Instagram. Like whatever we see on social media that Trump is doing, that's what people is rolling with. And like Trump realized that, and that's like during Trump's presidency, he was trying to ban TikTok because like TikTok's a China run app. And like the Chinese are able to see like our information, our data, our locations, like scan our faces for AI and like make like whatever they want with our voices and things like that. So like, the US was a little uncomfortable with that fact that we didn't have any control over the app. But so Trump was the one who put it on course for it to get banned. And then over time, it's just like it was already set in motion with Biden and things like that. And then Trump, during his like re-election with Kamala Harris, he's like, oh man, that TikTok platform is really how I'm gonna get that 18 to 25 voters because all them even under 30, I'm sure even people way over. Everybody using TikTok. Everybody using TikTok now. So it's like for him to not use TikTok to get more votes is crazy. Like everybody's on social media now. So then now you're seeing him make a social media account. You see him post more on this. Like the same app that he was bashing just a couple years ago, saying it's terrible. We shouldn't be using it. You seeing Trump on it, and now it's like now he's even saying that, oh, maybe this app isn't bad after all. Maybe I should not ban it. So now Trump is telling Americans that he is gonna stop TikTok from getting banned when he becomes elected, when Trump was the reason why TikTok was getting banned in the first place. People forget that Trump was the reason why it was getting banned. So it's like psychological manipulation to think that he's doing something for us when actuality he ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. It's a lot of manipulation going on. And it's just like I feel like for my group, we're not doing enough research on like on facts. Like people are reading the headlines and just seeing what they see on like social media and just running with it. And some of that stuff on social media be fake. It'd be AI. It'd be robots
Mm-hmm.
making it. So it's just, yeah, man. Honestly, I don't know why so many people voted for Trump for real. Cause like Kamala, she was gonna do something different. Like she really was gonna do something different. Like we already seen what Trump is about, and I just don't know if we really want that for America. But I guess the majority of Americans did because they did vote for him. I mean, when Joe
Yep.
Biden was running, like most of the people voted for Joe Biden, and you saw how Trump reacted. He got so mad. He was trying to overthrow the Capitol, January 6th. Having everybody run through the Capitol and like bash the entire like One
That's
of the
what
most.
that's one thing that I don't understand why people reelected him. After what he did, he
Yeah,
tried to
that was
overrun
crazy.
the government.
That was worse
Same
than a
government
terrorist
that
act. Like
huh?
that was beyond terrorism. But he did. I like it, you ran through like the one of the most private, most important places of America. You treated it like it was some like parking lot in Burger King. Like you just ran through it. Like he shouldn't have been elected after that. That was like, and people forget about January 6th. A lot of people forgot about that. Like
No,
like I'll never forget that. I remember
I'll
watching
never
that like it
forget
was
that.
yesterday. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was wild, man. Like, oof. And now he president. So imagine what he gonna do when he
With
get mad as
34
president
felonies.
with 34 felonies. But with that, at least that's I have one perspective of that about at least. At least like I can say like regardless of your past and regardless of what crimes you committed, if you really want to be a better person, you should be allowed to be a better person. But Trump ain't no better person. But I mean, like there are people out here who got priors who are trying to do better for the community, who are trying to do better for people, and they should be allowed to run with priors. But Trump's priors are just crazy. Like, bro's what he's stealing documents from the government, stealing documents from the U.S. White House, like the Capitol attack, like being racist as hell. Like, just he's done so many things where it's like he really should have been like what he got impeached like 3 times. Like this man should not be qualified. He shouldn't be qualified to run.
No,
Like he
it's
done so
just
much. But we
yeah.
allowed it to run. Like he said, oh, it's America. It's a land for the free. Anybody can do what they want.
But free ain't free.
It ain't free.
Because
No, it's
some
free
of
for
us are
some.
still being treated like we slaves. Okay.
Yeah, it's free for some. Because as soon as he gets into office, he could just clear his whole conviction thing, just like how Joe Biden did for his son. Joe Biden just cleared Hunter
Biden's
Biden's
son.
whole
Yeah.
situation. So as soon as Trump gets into office, he gonna clear his whole situation. That's 3642 convictions, whatever he got going on. Bye to all that. The only thing he can't say bye to, I think, is his case in New York. I think New York has to handle that, regardless of if he's president. But like, let's be real. If he's president, the judge in New York isn't gonna give him no time. He's president. He gonna give him a dismissal, probation, whatever. He ain't gonna get him no time. He ain't gonna hit him with nothing crazy. Like he's president. You really gonna throw the president in jail? Like so, like he got away. Like it's crazy. Like I really do think he got away with all those convictions. But it makes you think for real. Like if Trump was a black man, would he be president right now? Would he have all the fame and all the love he's getting from America if he was a black man? Would he still have the same motion? Would he still be getting the same black man votes, the Latino men votes? Like would we all still be voting for him the same way, the young people? Like would he? I don't know.
Have you
This is
heard?
People Power with Priscilla. We are on Zoom. If you want to talk to us, you can dial 617-282-0685, and someone will give you the Zoom link and you can come on and me and my sidekick Wes are on. We're talking about all things Trump right now. But yeah, and soon and very soon he's gonna be our president again. We as community, we need to come together, work together, collaborate, support one another. There's a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of things that we can do. We have a lot of different tools, like Wes was saying, social media. Social media is a thing now. A lot of people don't even watch TV no more. They're just on, social media. And so for some of us, that's not a good thing. You know, we need to be face to face. We need to have focus groups and town halls because we got to figure out how we're going to get through this mess. Because we think about the whole entire United States. A lot of stuff that's going on here, it's going on everywhere. I was in New Hampshire a couple days this weekend. their taxes went up. They got, they may have raised their taxes. I can't remember which town it was, but they got overwhelming large bills too. And it's a shame because a lot of this is what really one of the things that bothers me, especially with our seniors, is that a lot of and they only get a little 2% increase if they're getting Social Security, and they
Wow.
may get a little bit of increase if they have a pension or whatever. But the majority of our seniors on Social Security are on fixed income. Now, how do you increase their taxes by $300-400?
All right.
Where's that money coming from? It just doesn't make any sense. There needs to be a better plan. There needs to be a better plan. The plan ain't working. Because what's going to happen when them seniors can no longer when they can't pay the increase in the taxes? What
Yeah.
happens? Is the city going to throw them out, foreclose on their property? I mean, really, this is just sad. It really is. They're saying, well, the businesses and have left downtown. Well, maybe our economic chief can go and bring businesses to Boston, other businesses, because it's not fair that the taxpayers, the homeowners, have to pay for commercial space. They keep building and they're continuing to build. Yes, Pastor. Good morning.
One.
Uh huh. You're not feeling well? Oh, Pastor, Pastor. Pastor, if you tell me who that is, if I have their email, Pastor. Pastor, Pastor Bruce Wall.
Yes.
Who was that?
Did you hear me talking?
Yes, you
Yeah.
weren't you weren't on mute.
I had that was.
I heard you word from word, bar from bar.
I'm glad I di- I'm glad I wasn't cussing you guys out.
Pastor, I was asking you who that was because if I know them, I could invite them from the Zoom.
I'm gonna send them the Zoom link.
Okay.
It's Grace.
Uh, okay.
Goodbye. Stay there.
Bye. So yeah, so hopefully Grace will join us because I have her email, so I could just invite her. Okay, let me do that. So, as we were saying, I think that I feel like we know it's going to be bad, but I think that it's now time for us as people to like wake up. All right, we've been slaves for over 400 years now. Wake up. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. Um, that we are still in this condition that we are in, and some of it, of course, is um white supremacists and racism and all that stuff. But we gotta admit, a lot of it is us. You know, it really it's us. I mean, we can't blame when we're not talking to each other, when we're not working together, when we're backstabbing, when we're being paid under the table, and we're in back doors and back rooms and stuff. I'm just sick and tired of it, and I'm sick and tired of these politicians that come up and they basically um, feel like they can, just come when it's election time, and then you don't see them no more. And then people, I mean, Boston, they call us the frozen chosen or the chosen frozen. We have that crab barrel mentality. Instead of us working together to bring everybody together, we're separated. How do you think we got from south to north? It was by working together. And so, I mean, I get discouraged. I get frustrated. But God says, keep going, Priscilla. Keep going. And
You
that's what
said
I'm going to do.
just like how we went from south to north, and we did that from being together. Could we work together to make that Mandela city again? Can we bring back that plan to make that Black Boston? Can we bring that back? Ain't the plan still? Ain't the blueprint still there? Ain't the whole map still there? Ain't everything we need still there? All we gotta do is just get it signed. Like, can we just can we bring that to the right people and get it signed?
We need to, I think we need our own country.
Oh yeah, definitely a whole country would definitely be good. I mean,
Our own. They ain't trying to give us no reparations. That's a joke.
yeah,
Okay, they don't want to give us no reparations.
no, they don't.
They just want free labor.
Mm.
And so, but I say it's not like we don't have billionaires, black people,
Yeah,
millionaires,
we got
you
the
know.
people.
So why can't we come together? And people holding on to their riches and stuff. And I understand the more you make, the more you want. But you know what? The bottom line, you can't take a nickel, dime, a quarter with you. And
Hmm.
I'm so glad that we're having these seminars at my church. We're having a seminar with a consultant that's talking to us about making our wills, um, reaching out to someone that's going to help us. Is not so much the will that talking about us putting that we own our own properties, talking about us putting our property in trust, making sure all our kids know what to do in the time of their demise. It's very interesting, and so for the next 2 Sundays, he's gonna be really teaching us and training us, and so hopefully, the folks that are at GMCC will have their act together because if you die without a will and you own property, that's the state. They take it, you know? And so, and a lot of us are getting older and we have to prepare because none of us are going to be here forever. And I'm just thankful and grateful that I belong to a church that would give us the time to do that. And the consultant, we can ask him questions, and he gives us a presentation. He breaks it down, and it's about us getting our act together and doing what we're supposed to do. If a lot of our senior people have passed away and left their kids their house. right? But the kids don't want the house. So they go and sell it, right? And who do they sell it to? The highest bidder. And who most of the time is the highest bidder? The developer, you know? And so that's how we lose out. There's been so many people that have left Boston. I mean, black people.
Mhm.
And all you see now, I mean, oh, there's Grace. She made it in. Hi, Grace. Unmute yourself. Turn on your camera so we can see your beautiful face. But yeah, it's us. We have, I mean, left Boston. I
Good
mean, black.
morning.
Turn that
Good
down,
day.
your radio.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
And so, it's just, I mean, a lot of people are leaving here, with work left undone. There's a lot of books that haven't been written because the people that were supposed to write them are no longer here. And so we have to change things. I think we need to look at the Boston public school system and really look at it. Like, I think that we need to bring, what do you do? What is it called when you bring somebody in to investigate something what you're doing? What's that called? To see why is Boston public schools failing like it is. Are you back with us, Grace? So, yeah, we are the people. We have the power. Good morning, Grace. Boston public schools failing like it is.
Good morning.
How are you?
Great. Amazing. Good morning. Thank you for all you do for the community.
Mhm.
Let's see if
You're
I.
welcome.
Oh, okay. I got.
Hi. See your
Okay.
lovely face.
I'm just calling to contribute to the conversation.
Yes.
And I was like, change is hard for people, and
Mm-hmm.
we know that, but we also know that we have to change. We
Mm-hmm.
have
Yeah.
to we have to embrace change. And it's scary for some people, but we cannot continue to do the same thing over and over and
But different
expect
results.
results.
Mm-hmm.
So, although you may not have voted for the Trump administration, it is a new direction, and we
Mm-hmm.
must thank God for the black men, young men who decided to move us in that direction, because it doesn't matter whether it's Trump or whoever's in president, we are faced with drastic changes that us as black people need to address. And those changes are, first of all, 60,000 black people have left the city, and
Mm.
black people are leaving the cities and going to the suburbs. We need to know what that impact will be. Uh, we also have an influx of immigrants to the city. Um, we also, the dollar is no longer the world currency. Uh, China no longer uses the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
That's a billion people. Russia no longer uses the dollar. Brit uh, Brazil no longer uses the dollar, and they've formed what they call the BRIC. And
Mm-hmm.
the BRIC is Brazil, Russia, India, China.
In China. Mm.
Okay, and not
Mm-hmm.
just them. Now they have a growing list of other countries who have joined them and that are no longer going to be using the dollar. That has financial implications for us. Um,
Right.
that we're not that this has never happened. You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, in the years. The United States has always been the the dollar has always been the world currency, and that has drastic implications right there. Number two is the longshoresmen, the ones who operates the ships. They went on strike. They said that everything that we buy in America comes on a ship. That's a
Mm-hmm.
problem. That's a problem. We have
Mm-hmm.
all these wars going on. We also have cyber attacks. The grid could be attacked any day, shut the powers down. Puerto Rico just experienced power shutdown. These things happen. We're in uncertain times. We're facing a climate that's changing because it's been neglected. uh, we as Black people have to look within. We're facing the destruction of the Black family, the destruction of the Black community. Drugs and guns were dumped in our community, and we are looking at the impact of that. We're looking at our Black children nationally are not reading by third grade. Uh, and yes, we will demand reparations. We have to demand reparations. Don't say we won't get it. We will get that for our grandchildren, our great great grandchildren, because that is owed to us. And it's up to us to fight for it and continue to fight for it like we fight for civil rights. We will demand that. That is our birthright. And the number of black, no one's addressing the number of black deaths that has increased. The number of black people who are dying from cancer and diabetes is
Mhm.
alarming. The number of black people who have chronic health uh, um,
Yes.
diseases. And we're not talking about the older people. We're talking about the young people as well. So
Mhm.
yeah, we have all these things facing that we must address as a community, and we as the elders must address and must come together address, because there is nothing more important than that. And let me also put in there the deaths, the shooting, the murders of our young people in the streets across America. We have more black deaths than Ukraine. We're fighting. We're talking about Ukraine, and we right here in our cities, murder is still going on. And no, we cannot just like, oh, okay, jump on TV and say, oh, well, what are you doing? No, it's what are we doing? What are we doing to address that? Because there are things that we could be doing ourselves that we're not. But uh, thank God for you, and thank God for that young man that you have sitting there that you're bringing in the youth. Because, and that's another thing, we have to address abortion. We are murdering our babies. More black babies are being murdered than are born. Ten Commandments, thou shalt not kill. Uh, the youth, we used to say, you watch youth, we used to raise up the babies and say, are you the one? Are you the next Pastor Bruce Wall? Are you the next Sister Priscilla? Now we're telling mothers, oh, are you having another one? Like that's the most despicable thing in earth. Who made that change? And we have to rechange that, because we have murder on our hands. And if we are to live, we have to be for life because of life. We cannot be for death, because death is amongst us. And we're dying immaturely. And so that's why we must change. But it is not about them, it is about us. We're fighting for our existence. We must fight for our existence right now. It is up to us to fight for that existence. And it doesn't matter if the other it matters to the people who has the vision to fight on. Yes, we may not be able to reach some people, we may lose people, but we must we must continue on, and we must come together and address these changes right here. And thank God we have our young people, because we have born young people who can help us with a vision and new ideas. And yes, but with the guidance of the elders, You have a responsibility. You have to. We must ask elders to give a hour of their time to volunteer. You got to turn off that Netflix. We have to come together. We address our community. What is the impact of blacks moving to the suburbs? What is the impact of our great institutions? Our ancestors, we are like, oh, we're poor. No, we are not poor. Our ancestors have left us. Pastor Bruce Walsh Church sits on a block. Our ancestors left us a lot of great institutions that are going down. We must make sure that they survive because it's those black institutions who helped us along the way. I don't care what city you were born in. They are great black institutions that the people uh, volunteered, worked hard, went through hard times. Those institutions helped us during hard times. Those institutions will help us today. It is our responsibility to make sure that these institutions exist and survive. And our young people, if they go to college or whatever, they come back here, and we must have them intern in our great institutions that our people built. We must tell the youth the past of how these institutions came into existence, and the reason why they came into the existence, and the reason why we need them, and they need us. And that's what I have to say about that. But good morning.
Thank you. You're supposed to say good morning first. That was well said, and everything you said is correct. And I mean that's what I've been talking and preaching for a long time. Collaboration. We need to collaborate among ourselves. But for some reason, and it's not like we can't do it. We can do it. We can do anything that we put our minds to, with the help of God. And so I really believe, what my theme song is, a change is gonna come. Some change is gonna be good, and some change is gonna be bad. And we got to be ready. We got to be ready. And so, how do
Well,
we get ready?
we must take one thing. Number one, we must have a community meeting on how to preserve these black institutions in our community and make sure that they thrive. What is our plan for that? How do
So when
we
you
how do we strengthen these black institutions? Uh,
what
we must support them. We must we must take an assessment of what the needs of these institutions in our community. We're facing, first of all, we're facing climate change, a disaster. Our community is not prepared for any disasters. We're facing other things, survival, you know. But I also know that in 1 week, black people raised $80 million for Kamala Harris. So if black
mm,
people can raise $80 million for Kamala Harris, we can raise money. So we are not poor. We're just like you
right?
said. You just like you said in your church. What we are is poor financial education.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. We're spending our money, and we need help with how to spend, how to save, and how to invest. That's where we're going. But we also, during in slavery, the blacks weren't taught to read. But what did our ancestors do? We in the churches, we were taught to read. Our black listen, our
Grace,
black
I can't
children.
see your face. Come closer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, our black children are not reading by third grade. They're not reading. Okay. I am a teacher. I can teach someone to read in 3 months. What happened? What's happening with the Boston Public Schools? That you can't teach no one to read by third grade, 3 years. You can teach reading in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The governor has on her table, one of the things that I like that she has on her table is that she's um calling for phonics, the old way and the
Yeah,
only way you're supposed to
yeah.
teach reading. They've dropped phonics. We
They
must
sure did.
Yeah, they've dropped phonics. That's why the children are not reading by third grade.
And
That's
not
the
only that, they're
yeah.
not writing either. They can't even write their name. They don't teach them how to write in cursive. And when they print, it's horrible. So
We
those are
have
the basics.
we our ancestors, they didn't wait for the government. Okay, that's why we have Pastor Bruce Wall's church. That's why we have uh Prince Hall. That's why we have the Carver Den. That's why we have over 100 black churches, because whatever the government wasn't doing, then we did. We raised money and we provided programs. We need to have reading programs in all these institutions. There's no way. We should not allow our young people to go without reading, okay? Because globally, we are at the bottom. Other ethnic groups, people are coming here, they're banding together, their students are excelling at schools. We must sure that these young people excel, because we have the most greatest children in the world, and we must not fail them. We must give them whatever they're not getting. We must make sure they get it. We can have a camp program. It's only 3 months. 3 months we can have all the children reading. It's sufficient. We just bring in, you know, we have enough teachers, educators in our community. Uh, during slavery, you may had 100 children in a classroom and one teacher, but they were taught, and we have to make sure that they are taught, and we must teach the skill of phonics, how to teach reading. Very simple. Teach it to parents. Teach reading. We must, wherever the children go, read to them. We have people who are retired. You come do a hour reading to the children, reading, instilling reading in them. Once you instill reading in the children, they won't put that book down. They will read. But let's teach them how to read and give them a good start, because reading is everything. If you can't read, it's going to be difficult for you to learn
Yeah.
other things.
Right.
So that we must do. I mean, but one of the things we have to do is we have to come, organizations, black institutions must come to we must have a meeting and come to the table and address this migration of black people to the suburbs. What does that mean for black organizations? What does that mean for the black community here?
Well, Grace, to be fair, a lot of the black people are being gentrified out of here because they don't own property,
Hmm.
and so they can't. The landlord raises the rent, and they gotta go. And
Well,
and
well,
so that's
yeah,
one reason why they're leaving,
right,
because that happened before, like in the 70s. It's just like they wanted better. The Boston Public Schools has never been good for our children, and
right,
that's why, I remember one time the Dr. Umar Johnson was here, and he was saying we need to be homeschooling our kids. If you're a
Hmm.
reading teacher, Monday the kids are at your house. If you're a math teacher, Tuesday the kids are at your house. And that sounds like that sounds like simple stuff that we can do.
well,
However, it's just getting
yeah,
it, coordinating it, getting the people together, and
well,
and
right.
and, and working it.
Well, that's one of the ways, but the other ways, our black institutions are empty all week long. All week long, they're empty. The goal is to strengthen the black institutions so that they can provide more services. First of all, the city of Boston has done a study that blacks only receive 1% of the contracts. So the study showed that getting the we're not getting our fair share. We must get our fair share. All these black institutions don't receive funding from the city. Okay, during the COVID, then they want to receive recognition because black people did not want to take the shots. So they like, okay, well, we'll give the funding to these institutions where black people go, because that's where black people go. That's who black people trust, and they'll trust them. So, no, we have to sit down, the black institutions, invite them all to the table, and come up with a citywide plan. Okay, and go after funding for the city. Not only that, fundraise. We must fundraise. Black people must give to make sure that we have programs in every institution teaching reading to the children.
We have 2 minutes